Hey, what's up, everyone? So, I want to talk about macronutrients. And basically, what these are protein, carbs, and fats. And everybody's heard of these, and everybody, has their own idea of what these nutrients do, respectively. And I've recently discovered that there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of misinformation um, about these nutrients and the role that they play in the body. And each one is actually very important and play a very specific role in how your body functions and how your body looks. Um, so basically, I'm gonna talk about each one individually and then go over what they actually do. So the first one is protein, and protein is the most you know I guess popular nutrient if there is a hierarchy of how popular they are, but everybody seems to think that protein is like, it's more closely associated with muscle building, power, energy, things like this. Bodybuilders talk about how, they eat like 300 to 400 grams of protein a day. Even, people who are the opposite, like they're trying to lose weight. There's an idea that protein, like you can do no wrong with protein. It's like the perfect nutrient. And yes and no. The role that it plays is different than what a lot of people think that it does. It's not an energy source, so it doesn't give you energy for workouts and things like that. What it is a building material for your body. Your body uses it basically the same way that, like, if your body was a city, um, wood, metal, concrete, asphalt that's used to, like, build high rises and pave roads and things like that. That's basically what protein does. It builds things in your body. It builds muscle. It repairs damaged tissue. It builds new tissue. Um, and that's what it does. It's You don't need like 300 to 400 grams of it. The best scenario is like, a gram and a half of protein per pound of body weight. That's kind of the ideal ratio. So that's what protein does. And fats are, everybody is talking about kind of like good fats nowadays and how fat isn't really the enemy, and that it's, very essential for people, to have a good amount of fat in their diet. Fats basically is storage. That's what it is. It's a storage site for energy for later use. Basically, when you eat something, and if you eat too much of a certain nutrient that your body can't use right away, your body will store it in the fat cells. That's basically how we evolved to survive. Is you don't Whatever you eat, it never gets put to waste. Your body never wastes anything that you eat. If it can't use it right now, it'll make sure that it can use it later on. So, if you eat like, I don't know, let's say like 500 calories, but your body only needs like 300 right now, the other 200, it's going to get stored later on. And that's what the soft patches on your body are for. These fat cells, these deposits. If you ever find yourself thrown into like a concentration camp or like, in like a famine condition, the fat gets released from those storage areas to help you survive and get through that. So that's kind of an extreme example. And right now, you know, I mean, in the developed world, it's not really a problem. So uh, yeah, that's basically the breakdown of fat. Carbs are the most complicated one. Now, people are always talking about how carbs are the enemy. Everybody seems to have an idea in their head that if you eat less carbs, that you're going to be healthier and you're going to be leaner. And again, this is information that is kind of skewed and it's not entirely true. Now, carbs, there are bad carbs and there are good carbs. Now, carbs are split into two camps: simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. And what simple carbohydrates are sugary carbs, carbs that are made mostly from wheat, from sugar, from corn, um, you know, things like that. So bread, candy, um, like processed foods, things like this are considered simple carbs. And what simple carbs do is they release energy into your body at a very fast rate. So it's like when you eat a lollipop and you get that burst of energy, you know, that sugar rush that everybody talks about. Um, and you just, I don't know, go nuts for like 15 minutes, but then all of a sudden, you know, you crash and you fall down. You know, your energy levels just hit the floor. And that's basically what a simple carb does, is it releases the energy very fast. But the problem is once that energy source is depleted, whatever is left behind after that 15 minutes gets stored in the fat cells. So you only have that amount of time to burn off whatever carbs you ate from that simple carb source. And that is a very big problem when you're, you know, trying to, I guess, stay lean. When you eat those simple carbs, you know, you're not going to be able to, like, let's say you eat like a bag of candy, it's like 100 calories, like, you know, 40 grams of sugar. You're going to need to work out for like an hour to burn that off. 15 minutes is nowhere near enough time to do this unless you're doing like a crazy, insane CrossFit workout, you know. It's just not possible. And, you know, that's the bad carb that everyone's talking about that causes oxidation, inflammation, and causes you to gain weight. Complex carbs are different. These are fibrous carbohydrates that come from clean food, mostly like rice, potatoes, pasta, things like this are a complex carb. And what complex carbs do is the same thing. It releases energy into your body, but it does it at a much slower rate. And, you know, the same thing, like, you know, if you ate a cup of rice, you know, that's like 150 calories and, you know, like 40 to 60 grams of carbs, depending on if it's brown or white rice. But, you know, that amount of carbohydrate, though, gets released across the course of the day. So it's not like a, you know, 10-minute window of time that carb gets released. You know, it takes hours. So when you eat complex carbs, not only do you get a larger grace period, but as long as you're staying active throughout the day and as long as, you know, you keep your metabolism up, carbs like that shouldn't be a problem. In fact, they'll help you a lot. And like I said, it's an energy source. It's what your body uses basically to fuel the muscle and to get your body moving. And complex carbs are important to, you know, maintain good energy levels, you know, things like that. You know, good muscle, like fullness in the muscles. A lot of bodybuilders will do this, you know, they'll carb load before the shows, before, you know, they get up on stage to make the muscle look rounder and fuller. Marathon runners will carb load before they go on the marathon because it'll give them energy and it'll, you know, give them the fuel to kind of like finish the race. You know, basically anything that you do that's physical relies on a complex carb for an energy source or fat. But the thing about fat is that, like I said, it's a storage site, so it's for emergencies only. You know, once, you know, anything gets stored in the fat cells, you're in a very bad spot because it's very difficult to burn fat from the fat cells. The only way you can do that is by putting yourself in a caloric deficit. And, you know, you got to do this over an extended period of time. Like I said, you got to make your body feel like it's starving before it taps into the fat cells. So if you're eating complex carbs, you get a greater window to kind of burn it off before it gets stored. And that's the split between complex and simple carbs. So knowing this information can kind of help you develop a, you know, good eating plan, a good diet that works for you, that you know, functionally will produce the best results. For instance, like I said, carbs are an energy source, so the best time to eat a carbohydrate would be like, you know, in the morning before you go to work or before your workout. You know, you don't want to eat them before you go to bed or before you get on an airplane. You're going to be sitting around not doing anything, so you don't need that energy. And with protein, you know, obviously it's not a fuel source, it's for building, so you know, it doesn't really make sense to eat it right before a workout, you know, because, you know, it's not going to give you energy. It's like, you know, you're not going to pour concrete into your gas tank right before you go on a long trip. I mean, you wouldn't do that anyway, but you know what I mean. You would eat it after the workout, you know, when your body is already all busted up and needs to be repaired. That's basically when you want to have your protein. So, this is just a couple examples, and I hope this information helps. You know, um, I've learned this recently, so I'm like, I don't know if you know this will actually help me, but I've been trying it out, and actually I can kind of see what people are talking about. I had some carbs for breakfast today. I'm looking pretty good. I had a potato, cup of rice, cup of broccoli, and my muscles feel round and full, and actually I have a lot of energy. I'm like motivated for the day, which is very weird because it's a Monday. Um, but I don't know if it's all in my head or not. It's too soon to tell. But I hope this video helps you, and I hope you guys reach your goals soon. And thanks for watching. Bye.